there is this Rubio Vance thing. Just one question on this, and this is not the first time Rubio has nodded to the notion that he would defer to Vance. See, I can't think of a precedent. This is 3 years out. Vance isn't even a declared candidate. Why is Marco Rubio saying this so definitively, do you think?
Why is he saying definitively?
Why is he saying if Vance runs, I'm for him and I'll be the first to sign up? Why is Rubio
I
saying that? Why not just say it's too early?
Look, they work together. I'll give
Yeah.
it to them as somebody who worked in a White House where I sat in the West Wing, and then all of a sudden the balance of power went across the street to the EEOB when Harris was the person running. It's incredibly awkward when
Yeah.
there's this competing tension of political ambition. And I think
Yeah.
it's smart for Rubio to kind of play the deference card here and maintain it. I mean, they got to clock in together every
Yep.
single day.
Yep. Larry?
I think that's pretty much it. If he wants to keep the peace and get anything done, they can have that kind of drama. And by the way, I think he's right where most Americans are observing this situation. Obviously, J.D. Vance is the vice president, so he's sort of going to have the inside lane here,
Yeah.
and Marco Rubio knows that. And if he were to say anything else, it would be untoward.
And particularly if Trump would endorse Vance, which I still think is the base case. I'll say one more thing, and sometimes people look at me askance when I say this. There are people in politics who are genuinely friends, right? They're genuinely friends.
Mm-hmm.
Not just like the Cheney sisters, just kidding. They're genuine, people are genuinely friends. People are genuinely friends. And this cabinet, you'll see them in public all the time say, oh, we're genuinely friends. And I think people on the left and in the media and even some Republicans roll their eyes. There are a lot of people in this cabinet who are hostile enemies. Not a lot. There are some, I should say, but they're genuine friends. And Rubio and Vance are genuinely friends. They're genuinely friends. And do
For
friends,
now.
well, okay, do friends run against each other for president? Happens all the time. Happens all the time. But these guys are really close. And I think that's part of it. He can't imagine today, you're right, MC, maybe in a year I'll feel differently, but he can't imagine running against. If his friend's going to run as vice president, he's not going to run.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.
And don't forget, you can now listen to the morning meeting and Two Way Tonight on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.